So question answer time. One of the questions that I get more than any other one out there is, what do I do with the varmints that I shoot? So there's a big misconception when it comes to hunting in some groups. Okay, some groups feel that you shouldn't be out there hunting unless you're eating everything you hunt. Well, you have to understand that varmints are not your typical game animal. In fact, most states classify varmints as non-game animals. Therefore, their biologists agree that number one, it's not going to hurt the population if you shoot a bunch of them. Number two, they really shouldn't be eaten. And lastly, that most people aren't going to eat them. So instead of doing like a wanton waste type of situation, varmints are left for other varmints, but I'll get to that in a moment. So one of the major issues with varmints is that they carry fleas that carry disease. The fleas could carry the plague, and therefore if you're going and you're cooking up, let's say, prairie dog or ground squirrel, there's a possibility that you might get bit by one of those fleas, and there's a strong possibility in certain areas of the country, especially Colorado right now, as we've seen some cases come up, that you could get the plague. And that's something that I don't believe you should be risking. Secondly, for those who feel that, hey, you're shooting an animal and it should be used, etc., how I look at, and most varmint hunters who have been doing this a while look at varmints, is the same way you look at a rat in your house. If you go ahead and set a trap for a rat in your house and you catch that rat in the trap, you don't immediately walk into the kitchen, skin it, gut it, clean it all up, and cook it. Why don't you? Because it's a rat. It's a varmint. Well, the same with the varmints out here. Ground squirrels, prairie dogs, rock chuck, things like that. Those are all varmints that are considered rodents. And basically we look at them like you would look at your rat at home. You wouldn't take it into the kitchen and cook it. We're not going to take these, risk disease, risk the other things that might be going on with it, as far as mange, etc., and skin it, clean it, take it home and eat it. Now there's some guys out there I've seen that have said, oh, well, I went ahead and ate this. I ate coyote, I ate bobcat, I ate, prairie dog, this and that. Great. I have no problem if they want to do that. I'm not going to do it. And I don't expect people to judge me for doing that, or others who also hunt varmints and leave them. And lastly, and you've heard this, it's almost a cliche, that anything you leave out in the field doesn't go to waste. Well, that's the truth. I mean, we've gone and shot ground squirrel fields in Northeast California, and while we're shooting, bald eagles or golden eagles will land and eat while we're shooting the ground squirrels. We just turn our table and start shooting in a different direction. Add to that, when I collect and put them all together for pictures, I'll take my pictures and everything, which I use gloves, I put them in a bucket, I'm very careful with everything. But I'll come back the next morning and they'll be gone. That's because that night coyotes came by, maybe fox, bobcat, other things like that came by, and they have eaten all of them. And it is true that things that you leave out in the field, like varmints, will get eaten. No matter what, it will get eaten by another predator out there, and some varmints will even eat each other. For example, ground squirrels. It's been shown and documented on my videos and a few other people's videos out there, and biologists have talked about the fact that they are cannibalistic and they will eat each other. So with that being said, let me go to what we do after we shoot them in the field. Now, I have some permissions on ranches and farms where they don't want them left on the field. So we'll go ahead, collect them, I'll take my pictures, I'll throw them in a bucket, and I'll leave and I'll take them and I'll put them out somewhere in the desert or somewhere on public land where I know they'll get eaten up by coyotes. Then there's other ranches that they don't mind being left, but I don't leave them out in the open. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and take my pictures and such, I'll put them in holes, let's say ground squirrel holes or prairie dog holes, and I'll go ahead and kick as much dirt as I can to bury it. And that way I'm, number one, burying that animal so the farmer or the farmer's workers doesn't have to see it. And then number two, I'm also closing up that hole, and it's a delay on those animals using that hole again, they will use it. They'll dig it out quickly, but at least it's a little bit of a delay. So I hope that answers that question once and for all. For those who still believe that people like us shouldn't be shooting varmints and leaving them to waste, I'm sorry, but when you're doing depredation hunting or you're shooting, helping farmers and ranchers, it's something that has to be done. The other alternative is that they'll go in and poison these things. And when they poison them, all those predators that I spoke about will go in there and they'll start eating it, and it's normally an anticoagulant. And that anticoagulant could get into the system of the raptors or the other predators, and it could, if not seriously hurt them, make them miserable, it could also kill them. So when we go out and we shoot with our firearms, we're causing a quick death, it's not suffering, and then we also leave it for other predators and other raptors and ravens and things like that that come in and feed off of those. And it's almost like doing them a service because we're giving them a free meal. And if you have any issues with that, don't do it. But don't judge the people out there who are doing it. You have no idea, especially people in the East, don't really have any idea on how much extreme damage that varmints do out here in the West. You know, they say ground squirrels, and I don't know the stats offhand, I'll float them on the video here, but they say that ground squirrels can eat per month about 40 pounds of alfalfa. And we're talking about a ground squirrel. Now multiply that by thousands of ground squirrels on one property, and that is huge damage for that farmer. And what do? They look to people like us, or they go ahead and they pay the money and they get people out there to poison. And I would much rather us be able to do it, get out there and have a little bit of fun, at the same time doing what we can as much as possible to have a quick death for that varmint. It doesn't even know what hits it most of the time. I mean, come on, we're looking in this package right here close to $1,500 with the Ruger, the Nikon ProStaff 5 scope, the rings, the ammunition, the table, everything, just so I can go shoot varmints and make sure that this rifle is accurate enough that I can kill them as quickly, as humanely as possible. And that may be, to some people, it may seem like it's ironic, but yeah, we are actually going out there to kill them as quick as possible. We're not into seeing suffering animals. That has never been the case. I've never ever met a varmint hunter that wants to shoot something to let it suffer. I've always known varmint hunters that will spend thousands of dollars, spend a lot of time tinkering with loads, reloads at the range so they can go out and they can make a quick, clean kill on whatever they're hunting. So that's about it. That's question number one. We're going to start a question answer session that's going to start in 2016, and I'm really hoping that people participate and start asking questions so we can just sit down and answer them. And I'll answer them either a lull in shooting out in the field, or I'll answer them at home in my shop. That's about it. This is Eric from Varminter.com. Head on over, hit our site. We've obviously got the articles and videos, photographs, everything like that, but we also have a forum that is quiet, but it's a good group of guys, knowledgeable people, and you're always welcome to come in there and ask questions. We like that. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon. Hey everybody, I hope you liked our first question answer session. We'll be doing one of these a month, and stay tuned on our website and also over on our social media, Instagram and Facebook, for the questions for the next time around. In the meantime, click below to subscribe or click our logo to head on over to our website. Thanks a lot.